Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Football United TV. It's the weekend, so there's only one thing. It must be the Premier League weekend show. But now it's time for that famous intro. Welcome to tonight's show with my one and only guest, Billy. How you doing, Bill? You right?
Yeah, man. All good. Looking forward to the show. Been a lot of controversy this weekend, so looking forward to getting into it.
It has been, yeah. We're going to have some of it on this show, to be honest with you. So, you've been warned, Bill. Right, before we actually go ahead, I'm just going to bring up our sponsorship, Joe. GlassKits.com. Basically, this is a company we're sponsored by. They do a wide range of football kits, pretty much all across the world. It's good stuff, authentic. The price ranges is good as well. Also, they do football kits from now, going back a couple of seasons, and also the old retro kits as well. Like I say every week, everybody likes a bit of retro. Yeah, I feel a bit retro every now and then, Bill, but no comment on that. All right, but yeah, let's just get on with the show. I've got something that I want to say on this. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Personally, in my opinion, I feel Newcastle was lucky to win this game. I'm just going to start off with the starting lineup. Just in the midfield. Obviously, we got Declan Rice. Then we play with Jorginho and Havertz. Why the hell are we placking our midfield with Chelsea rejects? I seriously don't get that. Jorginho was captain in the game. I got to be honest with you, he couldn't captain a turd. I thought he was absolutely dire. He was absolutely rubbish in this game. Jorginho, name says it all. Nothing, Nico. No, he was absolutely rubbish. He was absolutely dire in this game. I wasn't happy. Excuse me. And also, I'm going to go on to the other Chelsea reject as well. Kai Havertz. Fucking hell. He was lucky to stay on that pitch. What was that tackle all about? What was that Kai Havertz tackle all about? After he done that tackle, Declan Rice says to him, you can hear him say it. He's saying, what are you bloody doing, mate? What are you doing? But when you look back on it, Kai Havertz actually had the last laugh. Number one, he should have been sent off, but he got a yellow card where he was very lucky. And in the process of him getting a yellow card, he actually got 3 Newcastle players booked as well. So technically, you just might as well say Kai Havertz had the last laugh on that. So that's the number fit. That's one thing that I'm talking about, which I didn't agree with. The other thing as well, it says it down here. VAR. Was VAR wrong? VAR is ballsed up this weekend. On not just this game, on a couple of games this weekend. And it was literally on Sky Sports News when I think Paul Merson was on there. He was doing a game. And he said, come back to me with the decision. They went back to him 4 or 5 minutes after that, and they still didn't make a bloody decision. VAR is crap. It's bollocks. I want it out of the game. It ain't no good. And I don't know who's behind it or who's up in that little box room checking it all. But all I'm going to say is that person who's checking it all Mate, you ain't got a clue. 3 things in this game VAR checked for. 1, was the goal offside? Number 2, was it a foul within the box? The third one, I'll bring up the third one. Number 1, I don't think it was offside, personally. Number 2, if it was a foul, where during the push, basically it was Gabriel, because he tried to get under the ball to head out, like from the back of his head. That could, to me, that was 50-50. Whether it was given or if it wasn't given, I couldn't care less. But I'll tell you something now, on the third decision, that ball was fucking out of play. Definitely, from what I've seen, that ball was out of play. And I got to be honest with you, VAR, shame on you. And Arsenal, you got to start bucking up your ideals, because we've lost our first game. It was a first game of our season we shouldn't have even lost. I think you was poor on all. The man of the match for me was Declan Rice. Saka was lost out there every now and then. We had one shot on goal. One shot. And that was from Martinelli. When he hit that shot right at the keep, straight at the keeper. That was it. So enough about me doing this little rant, because there's going to be stuff mentioned on Gunners from All Corners this Thursday, so you might want to be in tune with that one. Billy, your thoughts on this game, mate, and also after, talk to me about the decision from this pathetic, what we call VAR.
Firstly, I'm going to start off with saying that there's been some breaking news. There is a live game going on, Liverpool versus Luton. Luton have currently scored to make it 1-0 Luton in the 85th minute. So I want to keep everyone aware of what's going on in that game. And back to the Arsenal-Newcastle one. I think it was poor from Arsenal. Like we discussed off camera, we thought that it was going to be a win to Arsenal. Clearly that wasn't the case. I think both teams didn't play that well. And yeah, I think we've said this too many times. VAR's there. I mean, including the name. Do you know what I mean? Video assistant referee. And it done nothing to assist the referee in any of those decisions whatsoever. And I think that it's a joke to even have it in the Premier League. And I think overall we need to start seeing some big changes, whether that is scrapping it and completely redoing it, or trying to install different ways of trying to, or implement new ways of trying to better VAR, because it's not getting any better with the way it currently is. I think the Havertz foul was a red card. The way he went in, it doesn't matter if he didn't make contact. I think overall, when you're looking at the way he went in, it's a disgusting tackle. There's no need to go into that tackle. It was late. He weren't interested in getting the ball.
2 feet was off the floor.
It was a reckless tackle. So for him to get a yellow is lucky. I don't think the ball went out of play. I think what a lot of Arsenal fans are seeing from this camera angle is that the ball's a sphere. It's not just a square object. Yes, you can see a gap between the ball and the line, but you cannot see whether the ball is actually over the line or not from that angle. Then you've also got to look at the foul on Gabriel. I don't believe it's a foul. I think Gabriel jumped himself forward to try and header it back, and that's just not how it went down. And he unfortunately missed it, and then it led to Anthony Gordon's goal. And also with the Anthony Gordon thing, I don't think that was offside either. So I think the decision was correct, but I also think that to come away with a win, I can understand a lot of Arsenal fans feeling deflated, but to deflect it and put it on the VAR is not right. I think that Bruno Guimaraes could have got a red card as well when he decided to go and elbow your player in the back of the head.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I think both sides got lucky with decisions, and it was just who could take their best chance. And I think Newcastle did that. So fair play to Newcastle.
Well, it's like I said, I didn't agree with it being offside. You know, there wasn't no offside in there. The foul, whether it was, whether it wasn't, personally, I think you can give it or not give it. It's one of those calls. It's 50-50, but I didn't really see anything nasty in it. So, that's the two decisions out of the three I could let go. But every view that I've seen, whether it's been on YouTube, whether it was on Sky Sports News, anywhere, it still indicates from where you see it, in all fairness, it does look like that ball was out of play. It was past the line. From what I've been seeing, it looked like it was past the line. But then again, it's just an opinion. Everybody else has got their own opinions, what they think. But I just felt Arsenal was poor. One shot on goal, Martinelli, straight to goalkeeper. I've already said that. There was nothing in this game. We were passing around. As soon as we were passing around a lot. We were doing a lot of movements in the 18-yard box. But when they were sort of passing it round, the other Newcastle players was coming back into the box. Right? So, it's which made it hard for us to shoot on goal because there were so many bodies in that 18-yard box. It's like someone was afraid to shoot on goal. I was literally shouting at the telly, shoot. I'm not going to say what I said because, well, it was a lot of swear words. That was what it was. And I got to be honest with you, there was times in the game where there were like 7 Newcastle players, like on one of their corners. There were 7 players in the box with 4 Arsenal players and in the box. And you know what? The marking was poor in some of that game. These little details you actually see what goes on throughout the game, but you don't see these until the people actually bring them up after the game. And you're thinking, yeah, that's right. I can remember that. I seen that for the game, this, that, and the other. But listen, I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. It was our first defeat. Put it this way: I think if Tottenham, what was the scoreline? Oh, Villa lost today, so Nottingham Forest did Arsenal a favour. So if they would have won and another team would have won, we could have went down to. I think we would have been 5th in the league. We could have went down to 5th today, but we haven't gone down to 5th. So everything's going Arsenal's way at the minute. Arteta, you got to change, mate. I criticizing this guy all the time. He's not the man for me. But I'm going to give him till the end of this season. We don't win anything. Yeah, you should be gone, mate. And that is all I'm saying. All right. I said a little bit on here. I'll be saying it on Gunners for More Corners. Let's go and get to a few comments. All right. We got King TV in. He said, yes, come on, Luton Town. That was where you get the score out. Big up King TV anyway, and thanks for tuning in. We have Static. Static's in the house. He's saying, hey, panel, big up to you, Static, and thank you for tuning in as well. Matt goes on to say, Static, hello, mate. Thoughts on the game? Also, yes, as well, we do have a poll. Was VAR correct in the Newcastle versus Arsenal game? Get your votes in. So anybody, feel free to, put your opinions in towards the poll, and I'll read them out towards the end. Statics in, he said, get ready. A shocking performance from Arsenal. Defensively poor, offensively very weak. It's time to go for Arteta. He's taken Arsenal as far as he possibly can. Enough is enough. That's right, Static. Enough is enough. I'm fed up with him. I'll just give him to the end of the season. He did hint. I think it was towards last season when it finished. He was thinking about leaving Arsenal. I swear I heard that. Maybe if I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments. But hopefully, if we don't win nothing this season, let's hope he holds his word to that. What he said last season, and he's gone. Rice was fantastic. Yeah, he was Static. He was the only player that really actually done anything on the pitch, as far as I'm concerned. And also, he goes on to say, Anthony, laugh out loud. Yeah. Right. Is there anything else you want to comment on this one, Bill?
No, I think I said this for a while, and I said when Arteta got the job, he finished 8th the second time. I said that I can see them pushing.
Yeah.
Definitely not to the level that they have. Do you know what I mean? Pushing City to the last game and how good they were last season. But I can see him moving on very quickly to go into a Spanish side. I can see him going to an Atletico Madrid, a Barcelona.
Yeah.
I definitely see him because I think that he's proven himself in the Premier League to the point of saying that there's no need for him to join a weaker side.
Yeah.
There's no need for him to go to a Villa or go to a Newcastle or go to a any of those sorts of teams. I think he needs to see what he's made of in a different league, and potentially, obviously, him being from Spain as well, it'll probably be a comfortable transition for him. But apart from that, yeah, well played, Newcastle. I think overall, when you look at it, both teams didn't deserve a win.
No.
But like I said, it's down to just getting them sorts of chances and trying to get it. And Newcastle did exactly that. So fair play to them.
Yeah, fair play. Well, I say fair play to them. Well, yeah, you got to give them credit. I think that, if it's not a way that Arsenal wanted to lose. If we were to lose 1-0 and it was actually played properly, without all these VARs and stuff like that, we lost to even if it was just like a bloody tap in. Do you know what I mean? I think that it wouldn't have been that bad. We would have took the defeat and then we would have moved on to the next game. And obviously slated Arteta, and we've probably cut a couple of the players that was playing. But yeah, it was just it just went right to lose that game through the decision of VAR. That's all I'm saying on that. Right, let's go on to our next one. Right, Man City 6, Bournemouth 1. What a right! I know it's Bournemouth, but listen, 6 goals, and you know what? Haaland did not even score 1 goal. Apparently, I think he picked up an injury. I read he's I think it's a hamstring injury of some sort. I think it was towards the end of the game. But then again, I know it's Bournemouth, but Man City, as you know, they got class, they got quality players all throughout the team in basically in every position. But I mean, you look at it on there. I mean, 2 goals from Bernardo Silva. I mean, he's a top quality midfielder. Foden, Aki scored. They've got quality all round that pitch, and I believe, with that is, to me, Man City is the one. They're going to run away with it. They're going to run away with the league. So Bill, what's your thoughts on this game, mate?
I mean, we predicted it. We didn't predict the exact score. We predicted a City smashing, and that's what we saw.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeremy Doku. I think it was 4 assists he got in that game. Just absolutely phenomenal. I watched him in the French league. I've been saying for like a good couple of years that he's a young, talented baller who looks good. I've wanted Chelsea to try and go in for him for years, but City have racked up a decent little player there. There's not much that we can speak on it apart from the fact that it was a Man City smashing, and it's clear with Arsenal dropping points, United dropping points. I think Newcastle are going to drop points. I definitely see City running away with it as well.
Yeah, Doug, it's like what you said. He assisted out of those goals. He assisted 4. Rodri assisted 1, and someone called. I'm going to call Bob.
Bob.
Yes, he assisted 1 as well. So I mean, fantastic. I mean, you look at them. Pep's got that team down to the wire. That no one's going to compete with them. Nobody's going to compete with them. Everybody's saying about Tottenham. I feel that they're doing well at the minute. Tottenham. As you know, your team Chelsea. You're playing each other tomorrow night, Monday night. But I feel Angie's got them. He's got them playing well. I think they might come to a little dip, like roughly around about Christmas time, maybe New Year, where they might start spiraling down a little bit, and then then up. But listen, I mean, the games that they've played, they're the only team now that's undefeated in this league, and you don't know how much that really pisses off an Arsenal fan. Seriously, it pisses me off. I expect it pisses the other Arsenal fans. If Static's still in the well, if you're still watching Static, put a comment in. I bet he's even pissed him off, to be honest with you. So yeah, but
Why?
yeah, go on.
Why does it piss you off?
Well, it's just that North London rivalry, isn't it? Obviously, before the Newcastle game, I mean, North London was sort of like roughly up there, like sort of up the top end. Both teams undefeated, and obviously we lost our game. I mean, hopefully you could do a job tomorrow and beat them tomorrow. I mean, all right, I know this is Chelsea, but you know, I mean, anything's possible on a Monday night. I've always noticed on one thing: when you watch Monday Night Football, there ain't a lot of goals in it.
No.
So hopefully you can you can turn them over even if you beat them 2-1. So, but yeah. Great on it. We're going to go through onto the next one now because we've got a few things to do as well, like quite a lot to talk about tonight. Brentford 3, West Ham 2. Yeah, I'm not being funny. I think a lot of people most probably would have got this wrong in the predictions. Maybe I had West Ham down for a win, but I mean Brentford turning over the Mighty Hammers. I mean, in all fairness, I've been impressed with West Ham this season. They haven't really been that bad. And obviously losing one of their star players to us, Declan Rice, and the players they've obviously got in this season, they are quite a good team, phenomenal team. But I mean, fair play to Brentford. I mean, you can't you know you can. It was unexpected, mate. That was all I was going to say. In my opinion, it was unexpected that Brentford won this, but they hung on. They played strong. I thought to me, I think this was one of the games of the weekend for me. Definitely. What's your thoughts on this game, Bill?
Yeah, Brentford impressing again. Obviously, I don't like to speak positively about Brentford. They smacked us 2-0 at home. So I don't like complimenting or saying anything nice about Brentford, but fair play to them. I think West Ham, I think we're going to start seeing West Ham be a bit exposed from now on. I think West Ham, when they've got a game on their hands, whether it be Brentford, whether it be Newcastle, whether it be Villa, they seem to crumble so far. So we definitely have to wait and see what else West Ham are going to offer. But for the foreseeable future, I don't see them picking up massive amounts of points and getting up the table as to what I originally thought.
Yeah, true. No, I mean, let's be honest. When I was watching, I think West Ham they were winning half time, 2-1. I mean, obviously, I knew, but obviously Bowen scored in this game, and that other player they've got, West Ham, the other one who got the goal, is it Kudus? I may have
Kudus.
Yeah, Kudus. Yeah, I thought I would destroy his name, but I tell you what a player he is. He's a good player. He's someone that, I mean, I think by next season, I think some of the top teams might be looking at this player. Definitely.
I mean, Chelsea were in for him. Chelsea looked at Kudus as an option.
Yeah.
And he is a very good baller. I think he can play in that number 10 role. He can play out on the wing if need be. And I think he's an incredible player also.
Yeah. Do you reckon he did the right move, though? Obviously not going to yourselves and going to West Ham, or?
Yes and no. I feel like he had enough credit in the bank with Ajax to play for a bigger club than West Ham, or a club, in the top 6. I could see him comfortably playing at that level. But for the time being, West Ham was definitely a better move than Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And also at the start of the season as well, because obviously Poch, it felt like with your team, Poch was trying to get that sort of team up and running, obviously with the formation tactics. Because to me, it felt like that he didn't know his first 11, your manager, until then when you started winning games, then you started moving on. Obviously, he's got them really playing well. And I think you're going to be winning a few games, and obviously try and get up that league quick, quick as possible, really, in the best way you possibly can. So, I feel that you do well. I tell you what, we've mentioned that Tottenham in Chelsea game. We'll do like a prediction at the end of the show for that one. But yeah, is there anything you want to touch on this one? Well, with Brentford, what's your thoughts on Brentford? Obviously, I just want to say this. To me, it seems obviously Brentford is not as good as Tottenham, but I always said with Tottenham, life after Harry Kane, because he's gone. But to a certain extent, with Brentford, it's sort of like when I say life after Ivan Toney, knowing that obviously he hasn't been playing this season, and obviously we know why, but he's back in January. Do you feel Brentford has been, do you reckon they played really well this season, obviously without Ivan Toney being in the squad?
Yeah, I thought that they were going to struggle. I think it was a bit different with Kane's situation because I felt with Kane, I feel like Kane, it was the good move to get rid of him. I feel like Spurs didn't have to have that burden of having Kane up front and like trying to get everything through him. Now they sort of share it as a team. Maddison, Kulusevski, Charlison, you've got Son also. Like they're definitely the players who share it. Whereas Brentford, I was definitely concerned once they lost Toney. I looked at Brentford's attacking sort of squad depth, and there weren't a lot to offer apart from Toney. So I can't remember that striker's name. Is it Awoniyi or?
It won't. Yeah.
Like him, he's done all right. We've got Mbeumo. He's been fantastic. So yeah, they've definitely raised it to a level. When is a question. When Toney gets back, do you see him starting straight away?
See, it makes what it is. I got this in my opinion. You got to think he hasn't kicked a ball for half a season.
He
right?
has.
Well,
he just hasn't. He's been in training with Brentford.
He's been in training, but it's only recently he's just gone back to training, I think, because he was actually banned from training as well. So obviously he's come back into training now and he started kicking the ball around. But it's like with this, with us, with the Arsenal fan base, they're saying, "Oh, get Ivan Toney in January." But now he's come out that Brentford wants at least 100 million for him. Now I'm not being funny. Ivan Toney, good player. I like him, but nah. I won't pay 100 million for him. No, I think that's too. I think that's too dear. I know with the prices that's changed today in in the modern day game, but I would not pay 100 million for Ivan Toney. I would have him, but I think with him for the amount of time that he's been out, I'm not saying he's going to come straight in and score an hat-trick or score a goal. I reckon he won't score until maybe a second or third game in. This is what I'm saying. And depending, I think Brentford will keep him in January. I can't see Ivan Toney going anywhere. They just keep
Chelsea doing it.
You see, yeah. I think Chelsea, or if not, I could see him going to our rivals, Tottenham. I mean that money that they got from Harry Kane, I think they might put that towards him to sign him.
I feel like Son isn't a bad striker, and then potentially looking at a left winger. I know Brennan Johnson, he's been all right at the left with Spurs, and he's a good player. But maybe they could go back into the market and look for a left winger instead of Toney, because Son seems to be doing the job up front. So
yeah, well, the latest score from today's game, Liverpool's equalised and it's finished 1-1. Diaz got the goal for Liverpool, so fair. I mean, to be honest with you, that is a disappointing result there for Liverpool, but brilliant for Luton. I know they were at home, they had home advantage, but listen, if I was a Luton fan and we had Liverpool coming to our ground and we get away with a draw, 1-1 draw, I'll be happy with that. Shame it wasn't a win, because I'll tell you what, that would have been absolutely brilliant for Luton. That most probably may have gone down in his history for this season if Luton most probably would have beat Liverpool. So, but yeah, so that's it. I'm just going to quickly go into the comments because there are reasonable amount of comments. Static, he says Arteta is a dead man walking. He'd be lucky to survive until the end of the season. Well, maybe Static. The wheels are coming off fast. Be warned, Arsenal fans. Well, yeah, I totally agree with you there, mate. Arteta is more suited to Malaga. He'd be lucky if he ends up at Valencia or Atletico Madrid. He's saying that's his standard. It is. I don't know. 6 likes, like and subscribe. Yeah, well done, Stack. Yeah. If you can obviously get the likes up, make sure you press the like button. Yeah, subscribe. And also a lot of people don't see this on their stream. You got that little bell in the corner. Press that notification bell button. And then any shows that comes up, it'll ping up on your phone or whatever, and then you can watch along. Whether it's this show, Gunners from All Corners, United Across the Globe, the Theta Show, anything. We're all here giving you the best content we could possibly give. King TV turns around and goes, yeah, Liverpool equalised. And then Matt goes on to say, fair play to Luis Diaz, a goal for his father. Yes, fair play to him. And Geordie's in. How are you, the lads? How are you, mate? Yeah. Oh, congratulations on the win, mine, Geordie. He hasn't given me any stick yet. I thought he might give me a bit of stick, but nah. 2 votes. Get your votes in. Smash the likes. And thank you for tuning in. Yes. And then Matt goes on to say, Geordie, Harry, mate, welcome. Okay. So let's go on to our next game. Sorry, Bill, there wasn't nothing you wanted to say on the last game, was there? The Brentford and West Ham?
No, you carry on, mate. You carry on.
No? Right, okay. Right. Sheffield United 2, West Ham. What am I on about? We were just talking about West Ham. Sheffield United 2, Wolves 1. Right. Sheffield United's first win of the season.
Yeah.
Blimey. I tell you what, I was looking at the league table before I come on the show as well. And even though Sheffield United won, I'm looking back and I'm thinking, hang on, have they won another game? I think it's their first, and I look back and yeah, it is their first win of the season. Yeah. I mean, fair play to Sheffield United. I mean, overturning a Wolves team, a team that's actually beaten Man City, going back. Was it last week or the week before? Mm. But yeah, I mean, this game was quite good. I actually watched the highlights of this game on Match of the Day on Saturday, and I tell you what, all credit to Sheffield United for doing this. I mean, their defense was up for it. Obviously, their midfield, I felt they were best in defense. Obviously, in defending in midfield, the attacking around the final third, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all. I feel like with the other teams, I feel that they're missing a striker and an actual goal scorer in this Sheffield United team. But yeah, I mean, fair play to them. They got their first win of the season. I'm sorry, but I still tipped you Sheffield United to get relegated, along with Luton and Chelsea. I'm fucking about Bill, but yeah, I still don't think they got enough firepower, in this team to survive this season, to survive the drop. They'll definitely go down. But Bill, your views on this game, mate?
Definitely the surprising fixture of the weekend. The one that surprised me the most. Sheffield United, I mean, we've seen that they've got a goal in them from time to time. It's just a matter of time before they come up against an opponent who is just as or even more weak in the final third. And I think Wolves is exactly that. I do think Wolves are not that clinical up front. And I think Sheffield definitely deserve the win.
Yeah, definitely. It's like what Jordy says here. He was impressed with the Sheffield United win as well. But yeah, they deserve the win. They're a team that's going to struggle. I feel if Sheffield United gets their next win, it's going to be a game that you're not going to expect them to win. And I got a funny feeling it might be one of the top 6 or 7 teams. I feel that they might be, at least beat them once. Knowing my luck, being an Arsenal fan, I better be bloody Arsenal. Knowing my luck, but yeah, I feel, you know, I mean, fair play to them on this game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know with Wolves, I mean, Pedro Neto's injured. I don't think he's coming back into the end of this month. But I mean, it does show when a player of that caliber plays for that Wolves team is out injured. You can certainly see the difference within that team and the way they play. Do you agree with that, Bill?
The thing with Wolves, I predicted them to get relegated. Wolves were my third team. I predicted Sheffield and I predicted Luton. I don't see it with Wolves. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. I think they've been poor in the transfer markets. I think overall their form looks so wish-washy that they've been lucky not to get relegated. And yeah, I just, in my opinion, I just don't think Wolves have enough. I think Raul Jimenez. I think since then it's been a bit ropey for them in the final third.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't really got a main goal scorer up front, is it? They haven't got themselves like a 15, 20 goal striker, for them to score up front. It's just like their top striker or their top player who's probably bagging something like 8 goals this season, maybe 10 if you're lucky, and then is depending on how they play, how they adapt. They haven't been too bad from what I've seen of Wolves when I've been watching them live on the telly. You look at them and you think, hang on, they're not bad at attacking, are they? It's just that final third of the pitch they're sort of like struggling to score. I mean, they're capable of scoring a goal or like maybe 2, but a team with like Wolves can't score anything like 3 or 4 goals. They haven't got that power up front to do that. So, but yeah, I feel that they're not a bad team. I don't think they'll go down. I think if anybody goes down, I think you're looking at Sheffield United, Luton, possibly Bournemouth. The way they're going at the minute, they're struggling. Burnley, that's another one that's struggling. That's come up this season, but I know they've won a game, but that they have signed a few players this season, but I just think I feel that it's going to be out of those. That'd be the bottom 4 for me, but definitely it'd be Sheffield United and Luton out of those 4 in the bottom 2.
Yeah.
So if you're a Sheffield United fan, you're watching this, or Luton, I'm sorry, but listen, you did well today, Luton, getting that draw against Liverpool. Just going to fire into a few of the comments. Jordy said Neto didn't play right for Wolves. No, unfortunately, we just said he's injured. He's not coming back until the end of the month. Do you know what? What guts me is I took out. Who did I take out? I can't remember. I took out now, and I put in Neto in my fantasy football team, and he got injured. I put him in before the game started, and he got injured during the game. I'm like, you bastard. What can we do? So I was pretty annoyed about that, but I'll just leave him in there now. He'll just keep my bench warm. He could be my Kai Havertz. And then Charlie. Oh, congratulations on yesterday's game, mate. Flemminese beating Boca Juniors 2-1 in the final. He went there and watched the game. The Flemminese fan, and he did actually say to me, he said he was actually bricking it before the game, like leading up to like a day or 2 before the game. He didn't know if Flemminese was going to do it, and I mean, well, look, they proved him wrong, and he's happy. So I just want to say big up Charlie and fair shout to Flemminese. Obviously winning the cup. He's great there. I heard him on the voice message earlier today. I think he might have been shouting at the stadium because his voice was a bit sore, I think. But he goes on and says, "Seems Arsenal were robbed again. No surprise there, but I don't care. I watched Feminazzi. This is true. Well, yeah. Screw everything else. Big up, guys. Big up, Charlie. Yeah, and congratulations, mate. Do you know what? I most probably would have been the same if I was in your position as well." 5 votes in so far. Was VAR correct in the Newcastle game versus Arsenal? 60% says VAR was correct, and 40% are saying no. I take it you voted in this poll, Bill.
I haven't, but I understand, because the thing was VAR was correct in allowing the goal, and the offside decision, or the ball going out decision, or the foul decision. Those were correct. I just think that they weren't correct in the fouls, i.e., with Bruno Guimaraes and also Havertz. So I don't know. The question overall, was VAR correct? It's a 50-50. Yes, they were. No, and no, they weren't. Like, they were correct in some instances, and they weren't in the other. So, yeah,
I mean, I've already expressed my opinions on it. Was he offside? No. Was it a foul? Well, I don't think it was that bad. So I could say, no, it wasn't a foul, but anybody could turn around and say, well, it was 50-50 on the decision. If it was given, it's given. If it's not, it's not. So that didn't bother me. But it's like what I said, every position that I looked at that ball, to me, it looked like it was over the line. It was out of play. But, you know, who am I one to judge? Everybody's got an opinion on it. Maybe get your views in it. Everybody get your views in it. Do you agree with the VAR, with the Newcastle and Arsenal game? You know, was it a foul? Was it offside? Was the ball over the line out of play? I mean, it was three anomalous decisions there. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? Because you've seen all the Arsenal players bunched up and, you know, talking to the referee. And, but yeah, I was getting ready to obviously go out then. But when I looked at it, from what I've seen on the actual game, when they actually showed the footage, the ball to me did look like it was over the line. Right. Boo, Boca Juniors should have won. Yeah, static. Do you know what? I think if Matt's still here in the chat, if he hasn't written a comment, I think he will agree with you on that one. He will agree with that. The Static goes on saying, panel, I must go. Great show. Thank you, Static. Thank you for tuning in, mate, and all the best. You know, this is another guy. This is Static. I've been on streams with him. He's an Arsenal fan. And, you know, he, you know, he's a man that sees how it is and talks facts as well. You know, big up to him. I really do like Static. Charlie goes on to say Billy needs to add a Feminazzi kit to his collection. I know a good website he can get all that. Well, yeah, we all know this website, Charlie. We all know it. He said to me he's got more chance. He said out of the two, he prefers the Bahia kit to the Feminazzi one, and that's it. I think it's the colours of the kit. He didn't like it from Feminazzi, but you know, don't shoot the messenger. All right. Football United TV says that Static going live tonight with Marley, 8 p.m. Oh right, okay, 8 p.m. I thought it was 10:30, but no, if it's 8 p.m., it's 8 p.m. to discuss. Well, it's just basically discuss that cup final. Come and have your say. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll be tuning in for that one, definitely. And then Static goes on to say, congratulations to Feminazzi. Yeah, congratulations to him. And he said, we'll see, Matt. He's Boku, mate. He's Static. I think we're all Boku fans on here. And then Marty shows his love and his appreciation. Yeah, I'll see you Thursday, cuz on Gunners from All Corners. It's going to be a feisty one. Feisty. Right, Static. Referee VAR was always going to go against Arsenal and every team. There's no excuses, but Arsenal didn't do nothing to win the game. No, we didn't do nothing to win the game. We didn't do anything to win the game at all. If anything, I would have settled for a boring 0-0 draw. You know, got in there, played crap, 0-0 draw, Get in, get out. I know you played a win, but I would have took the draw. I would have took a point. I've seen Arsenal win games in the past, and that's with a lot of referee decisions against Arsenal. I don't buy it anymore. No, fair enough. Static. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from for that. Panel, good show. Take care. Take care, Static. And then he goes on to say 9 likes, like and subscribe. Thank you for your support, Static. And make sure you do. And Matt goes on to say they were beaten by the better team in the end. Bocca will be back. Feminizzi made history. Happy for Marley. Marcelo, not so much. John Kennedy, laugh out loud. I think there may have been a player or something like that by the name of John Kennedy, if I'm not mistaken.
I know Chelsea had a Brazilian player called Kennedy at one point.
Did they? Yeah. I didn't know. It might have been in because I got to be honest with you. Half of that Feminizzi team, from what I've seen of them, they're like. How can I say? I haven't got to pick my words wisely. It's just because Marley's watching. But then again, I might say I'll sod it. Most of those players, that Feminizzi team, are in their 30s, so it's like 30 plus within that team. I mean, my team Bahia beat them 2 weeks ago in the league, so have some of that, Marley. Jokes, mate. Jokes. You know what I'm like. Anyway, we're going to go on to the banners here. Right. Team of the weekend. I'm going to pick my team of the weekend first, Bill. My team of the weekend, people might turn around and say, oh, well, it's Man City. They scored 6 goals. Haaland didn't and all this and that. But wrong. I'm not going to pick Man City. I'm going to go Brentford because coming back from 2-1 at halftime against the mighty West Ham team, I reckon they did really well in that game. But it's not just the game on this weekend; it's their performances leading from the start of the season up until now without Ivan Antonio. I don't think they've been bad. They've won a few. They've picked up a few points. Yeah. So my team there is definitely Brentford. What's your team, Bill?
I'm actually going to go with Nottingham Forest.
That's another one. I'm glad you didn't copy me.
Well, I was going to... I had a choice of 2. I had Nottingham Forest and I had Sheffield for getting their first win. But Nottingham Forest. I mean, Aston Villa is a team I follow profusely. I enjoy watching them play. I think Emery's a class manager and the players they have are phenomenal. So, yeah for them to go to Forest and get smacked up 2-0 is just, that's why Forest for me is the team of the weekend. Yeah.
Okay. And then also, we're going to go on to player of the weekend. I'll tell you what, anybody that's still in, get your comments in. I'll read them out. What's your team of the weekend? And obviously now, player of the weekend. Now, my player of the weekend, I got to say, I might destroy his name here. Man City, Dooku, he scored a goal. And obviously, he's got, 4 assists as well in the game. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I never really heard of him until Man City actually signed him. And the more I actually see of him, seriously, the more I see of him, the more I like him. Good player. Absolutely phenomenal player. And he's at the right team. And the best person for me to get the best football in out of him is obviously Pep. So, so he's my player of the weekend. Who's your player of the weekend, Bill?
I'm just on my phone having a look, just seeing if any that stand out to me. I'm going to go with Mudryk for scoring a hat-trick against Tottenham. Big brain.
Nah. Nah.
You're not having that, no?
No, I'm not having that because that wouldn't happen, mate. That would not happen.
I'll be real. My player of the weekend is Docker as well. I'm trying not to copy you, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. And also, worst player of the weekend for me, Kai Havertz. I'm sorry, but Kai Havertz is my worst player of the weekend. That bloke, I cannot stand that bloke. Do you know what? When he first signed for Arsenal, I wasn't keen on it, but I give Kai Havertz the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there was a hidden talent inside of him that, if underneath the right manager, may have got something out of him in the game. I see Billy there laughing. No, absolute shithouse. And I've got to be honest with you, after that tackle, what you done, Kai Havertz, that's disgusting. 2 feet off the ground. You were lucky to get off that, still be on that pitch. And you got three Newcastle players booked. But it's like what the saying goes, if you're going to go down, bring someone with you. He didn't bring one, he brought 3 down with him. So that's most probably worked on his behalf. But yeah, seriously, I think Kai Havertz, mate, I think you belong in the fucking bin. I'm sorry for swearing, but seriously, you belong in the bin. Either that or piss off back to Chelsea, one of the two. They'll have you and they'll welcome you with open arms.
No, we are never welcoming back. Like 300 grand a week. No chance.
Yeah, it proves that we can afford that. Billy, your worst player of the weekend. I bet you copies me. I'll put
you know what? It was, but I'm going to change it because of that comment. Because you've made that comment, I'm going to go and look for someone else.
No. You could turn around and say it. You could say Kai Havertz. You could pick Kai Havertz. It doesn't matter, mate.
Nah. I'm going to be.
All you can turn around and say is, Anthony, you know your football. You are a pure genius. Everything you say, I agree with you.
Nah, do you know who I'm going to go for?
Who?
Ashley Young.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Scored an own goal. Got subbed off. We'll go with Ashley Young.
I'm going to go with Ashley Young. All right. Okay. Right. I'm just going to hit the comments. Because there's a few.
Mate, they all seem to be Arsenal fans. This is boring. Everyone's just, all of them are just Arsenal.
VAR is pathetic. The Tish Crazy Gooner, big up the Tish, and thank you for watching the show. I noticed my my speech was sturdy. Then I'll say it again. Thank you for tuning into the show. Static panel, have a good show. Cheers, mate. He then goes on and says, take care everyone, like and subscribe. We just done that. AFC always. But hey, big up, mate, and welcome. Thanks for tuning in, mate. He said, sell Havertz on eBay and let's see what we can get for him. Fucking hell, we'd be lucky to get £1, but would that be with free postage and packaging? Jesus, people want that. AFC always said VAR was shocking, but our performance was even more shocking. Totally agree with you 100%. Carl Ross is in the house. Big up, Carl. He goes, evening, Anthony. Big up, mate. And how's yourself? I hope you're good. Maybe Carl, you're obviously you're here. Give us your little, give us a bit of comment, of what you thought on yesterday's game against Newcastle, mate, and also about VAR. Was VAR right? Was VAR wrong? And I'll just read it out. Be interesting to see what your thoughts are. Right. Now we come to the last bit of the show now. That's not too bad. 53 minutes and 45 seconds. This is prediction time. Right. Now, I am going to read out the predictions of last week. And I got to say, me and Billy,
that stinkers.
We were phenomenal. We were absolutely phenomenal. It was close. It was tight. The scores, flipping heck, they were high. They were really high. Right. To cut a long story short, me and Billy, we both got 2 points. What a load of crap. We got the ones that we got the points for was the Burnley and Crystal Palace game. We both agreed and said 2-1, but it was 2-0 Crystal Palace. We said the Man City and Bournemouth game. I said 4-0. You said 4-1. We both got a point for that. And that was it. And the rest of them were shockingly shit. So that's it. Done. Now, we're going to go on the predictions for next week. So I'm going to give it to my colleague here. He's actually going to go, and this time he's going to call out the games, and he's going to say his predictions, and he's going to take my predictions down. Anybody in the chat, if you want to get your predictions in, you're more than welcome. So over to you, Bill.
So, for anyone that doesn't know, you get a point if you guess the correct the correct winning team, if you will. But if you get was it 3 points or 2 points? Correct.
It's 3 points for the correct score, and is a point for the win if you just get the win.
So first up, we've got tomorrow's game actually, Chelsea versus Tottenham.
Okay. Do you know what? Tottenham are good. Chelsea are coming on leaps and bounds, just gradually. They were a crap at the beginning part of the season. We got to admit that. Do you know what? Oh, crap. I don't know where to go. 1-1. Do you know what? I'm going to go 2-1 to Chelsea. I really want you to beat Tottenham, so I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. You don't beat them, Bill. God help you on next week's show. You're having it.
So you're going 2-1 Chelsea.
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
I'm actually going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm not even going to try and justify it. I'm a Chelsea fan, and that's what I'm going to do. That's the only justification for that answer. If I wasn't a Chelsea fan, I would happily and easily go with a 3-1 win to Tottenham. But I'm not going to do that for the sake of pride. It's a 2-0 win to Chelsea. Now, moving into next week's fixtures, we have got Spurs again, but they're away to Wolves.
Right, okay. I'm going to go for... Do you know what? I hate to say this, but I'm going to go for a Tottenham win on this one. I'm going to go... I think Wolves is going to give them a game, so I don't think there's going to be a lot in it. I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham.
I mean, that's not what I said. I'm saying 3 goals in that game, but I think they're all coming from Tottenham. I'm going with a 3-0 win to Spurs for that game.
Well, let's be honest. Richarlison, he ain't going to be scoring in that game, is he? Richarlison, fucking hell. Let's be honest.
No, but he might get an assist or something. So,
well, he might do, yeah.
Then you have got the mighty Burnley away to Arsenal.
Oh, God. Do you know what? This is a game that obviously Arsenal's going to win. Well, they should bloody win. And in all fairness, it should roughly be like a walk in the park. So I'm going to be optimistic on this one. I'm not going to go full in the same scoreline when we beat Sheffield United. So I'm going to go 2 less than that. I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. Eddie Nketiah hat-trick. And if that comes in, I'm getting an extra 5 points for that.
Hold on. I'm going to write that down. So Nketiah hat-trick, yeah?
You bastard. I knew you'd see that.
So if Nketiah gets a hat-trick, I will give you plus not 5 points, but plus 3 points.
All right, then.
Moving on to the next game, you have Crystal Palace at home to Everton.
What was your scoreline in the...
Sorry, didn't even forget. I'm predicting a 2-1 to Arsenal.
2-1 to Arsenal.
I feel like with Arsenal at the minute, I just don't see a lot. Like, whatever game they come up against now, I'm starting to think, is it going to be... Don't get me wrong, if you had Jesus and it was a month ago, I would be going the same scoreline as you. But a bit more recently, dropping points to Chelsea. I mean, 77 minutes with 0 goals on target or 0 shots on target. You got a full game with only having 1 shot on target against Newcastle.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a bit more... I think you've got teams now that are going to be looking at Arsenal as if you grind, especially with their performance against Newcastle, if you put in the work and you grind it out, you can there's a chance of actually wearing Arsenal out.
Yeah.
So I'm still going with an Arsenal win, but I do think that Burnley is going to be able to snatch a goal. Moving on to the next game, we got Palace at home to Everton.
Palace home to Everton. That's a hard one. That's a tricky one. Do you know what? I'm going to go on the fence on this one. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. And the only reason being is because Palace is playing. They're not playing too bad under Roy. They still got a few injuries. But these players that Roy has been selected in his squad, I think they got about 3, maybe 4 players still to come back. But yeah, they haven't been playing too bad of late. So he's got the team really playing well. I know, obviously, because the players they've signed, the budget was at Crystal Palace because they haven't got a phenomenal budget to spend.
Yeah.
Everton's Everton with Sean Dyche. I feel throughout that game he's going to be playing defensive and obviously attack them on the break as well when they got the opportunities. Calvert-Lewin, I think he scored this weekend, didn't he, Gone? So I feel that, I feel that Everton's capable of scoring goals past Palace as well. So 2-2.
My scoreline is going to completely contradict everything you've just said. I'm going with a 1-0 win to Palace. I think Sean Dyche is going to sit back way too far.
Yeah.
And I think Palace are just going to be. I think Palace are going to control that entire 90 minutes, and I genuinely do think that Palace will keep knocking on the door, get that goal. I'm going to predict in the 60 to 70 minute they're going to score, and then it's just going to die out from there. And I'm putting that down as well. I'm going with. Actually, no, I'll be precise. I'll go 63rd minute.
Okay. What do you reckon? What you're gonna get an extra point for this? Are you?
Yeah, I'm getting an extra point for predicting the time. If you get Nketiah on a hat trick, I get to guess a time where the goal is scored.
All right, then that's fair enough because that's a point for each goal, isn't it? So that's fair enough.
United at home to Luton next.
Well, the game that always sticks out to me is the Luton versus Tottenham game, and Luton was all over Tottenham. Obviously, Tottenham being down to 10 men on that game, and they lost the game 1-0. And the game today they played against Liverpool, I think they played really well. I think that Townsend that played for Luton, was that his first game today? I think it may have been.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, so I felt that he didn't play too bad. Like, obviously starting his first game for Luton Town. Man United, even though they beat Fulham 1-0, I felt Fulham was so unlucky. I mean, to score in the 92nd minute, Bruno Fernandes goal, I felt Fulham was so unlucky, and I did feel sorry for them. And coming back, it would have been better, obviously, for them if it was coming back from a 0-0 draw with a clean sheet for them. But Luton, Man United. Oh, do you know what? Sorry, I'm going to go on today's score. I'm going to go. What is it in Luton's ground?
No, they're away. So it's
they're Old Trafford. Oh, brilliant! If that shit resting rat infested shit all. 1-0. Still 1-0. I feel because there's a better pitch. Luton plays better better because I've been to Luton's ground before in the past, and I tell you what an absolute shithole. And that pitch is one of the horrible pitches that players can play on. I mean, going up through underneath the shop, up the iron steps, into the gardens, and up into the actual stadium. You can actually see people in their windows cooking and doing whatever. Is vile. So, but yeah, I reckon they'll play good on a decent pitch like Old Trafford. Well, I'll say a decent pitch on an average pitch. Sorry for any Man United fans that's here.
But yeah, so I've gone with a 3-1 win to United.
All right,
I think this performance from Luton is going to be overhyped, and I feel like they're going to crash straight back down into being the team that they always have been.
Yeah,
and I think United are just going to pick them apart. So that's my opinion. Moving up next, Newcastle are away to Bournemouth.
Oh, Blimey, Newcastle and Bournemouth. I tell you what, after today's result, not today's result, yesterday's result, sorry, against Man City winning 6-1, I don't think Newcastle are going to score that many. When I say many, I mean 6 goals. So I am going to go. Do I go 4-0 or 4-1 Newcastle? Actually, I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go 4-1 Newcastle. I'll give Bournemouth the benefit of the doubt and give them a goal.
I'm
going to go 2 goals by Callum. I'm going to go 2 goals by Callum Wilson. And if out of those 4, if he scores 2 of them, I'll get an extra 9 points. Right? No, I'm only joking. So 4-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, I've gone 3-0 Newcastle.
Yeah.
I've actually gone with. No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not. No.
Come on.
Fine. I'm going to go with a Trippier free kick.
Fair play. Yeah, Trippier free kick. Yeah, that's another one. Actually, Bill, how many games is left to call out?
5.
Another 5. Okay, then. Right. All right. That's fine. That's fine. That's all I wanted to know. Yeah. Go ahead, mate.
So we've got Villa at home to Fulham next.
Villa home to Fulham. Good game. Blimey. Villa won. They didn't bring their A game today, and that what I was going to discuss as well was that game. Even though Forest won 2-0, I don't know if you've seen it, Bill, but did you see that? The last goal. I do say what Forest scored, but it was Martinez, the Villa goalkeeper.
No.
He saved it, right? The shot. He's got a hand to it. It hit the crossbar, bounced down over the line. And then Martinez, he tries to grab the ball to say it wasn't over the line. So, so it was a bit of a bizarre one, that one. But yeah, I felt they didn't bring their A game today. I felt Villa, when he loses to a team like this, they get like an incentive, like a pick me up, and they do really well the following week. So I'm gonna say 3-1 Aston Villa.
Bastard.
3-1 Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins to score 2 goals.
I've gone with a 3-1 win also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not predicting no scorers for that one, but yeah, 3-1 win to Villa. Moving on next, we have Brighton at home to Sheffield.
Oh God, that is most probably Sheffield United. They played well. They had their first win of the weekend, didn't they? This weekend, beating Wolves 2-1. I can't see nothing but a Brighton win here. With Fatty Matuma and Danny Welbeck is he plays his part up front. Reminds me of a bit like an Eddie Nketiah, only scores goals but in vital games, not very many. So but yeah, so I'm going to go for a Brighton win on this one. I'm going to go 2-0 Brighton.
I have gone with a 3-1 win to Brighton myself.
Okay.
I was going to go 2-1 and have it a bit closer, but I do think that ultimately it is Sheffield, and I'm not going to be drawn in to overhype them to win another game this season.
Yeah.
Moving on next, we have Liverpool beat Brentford at Anfield.
Liverpool versus Brentford at Anfield. God. Well, Brentford played well, didn't they, yesterday against West Ham, winning 3-2. So I think if there's going to be a winner, it's going to be by the odd goal. So I'm going to throw this in the works. I don't know if anybody's going to agree with this on here, but Brentford they're good on attack, and obviously, as you know, they can score goals. They're normally averaging 2 to 3 goals a game. So I know Liverpool, Van Dijk in the middle, that centre back. He's not the same guy as he was coming back from injury, and that. So I'm going to go for a high scoring game in this one. Do you know what I'm going to go for? I'm going to go 4-3 Liverpool.
I've gone with a 3-2 Liverpool. So
Yeah.
we're along the similar lines. Moving on next, we have West Ham at home to Nottingham Forest.
West Ham to Nottingham Forest. I'm gonna go. God, I normally throw an underdog in there, but I know the underdog would be Nottingham Forest. Sorry, I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham. Bowen to score
I've gone
first.
2-1 for it. You what?
Bowen to score first. It's like a bloody football accumulator or something we're doing.
It is. It's definitely looking that way. Moving on, I've gone with a 2-1 win to Nottingham Forest. I think Arsenal. I think West Ham are definitely going to start spiraling a lot more. Moving on to probably the biggest game of the weekend, it is going to be Chelsea versus Manchester City. And Chelsea are at home, but that doesn't make a difference.
That doesn't make a difference. I still don't think you're going to, when I say compete with Man City, you've got, don't get me wrong, you have got good players at your team, and I know for a fact you're going to give them a game. But, that's the only good thing that I could say about Chelsea. If Man City beats you, is it going to be by a goal or is it going to be by 2 goals? Sod it. I'm sorry, Billy. I hope I'm wrong, and you win it. But I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
I've predicted the same. I mean, this is against City. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I back my team. I'm backing my team against Spurs. Do you know what I mean? But I do think that City are just going to absolutely dominate.
Yeah. Well, I bloody backed your team against Spurs as well. You better not let me down.
I've gone with a Mudryk goal as well.
Oh.
The Ukrainian Messi will start stepping up more, and he will show his worth. And if you see, it definitely looks like an accumulator has gone on here.
What the bloody hell's that?
Well, that's all. Like the scores. Then it's got all the names of the goal scorers we've got written down.
Oh, go down on there, blimey. That looks like your bloody. I bet your homework was like that as well, wasn't it?
Oh man, my homework. My homework instead of looking like that, it looked like that. That was my homework.
Oh, blank page.
Yeah, didn't do no homework for me, mate.
Right, okay. Right, we've got a few comments in. Just going to read through the last lot of comments. It's not many at all. Carl Rossi, big up to Carl again. He said, abysmal, no fight, VAR, the perfect excuse for the fan base to excuse Arteta and the 11 lack of fight. Well, yeah, it was Arteta's and the 11 lack of fight. It wasn't really much of a fight. It was a piss poor game in our behalf. We found it hard. We couldn't hardly get into their box, and if we did, they had so many players in the box we couldn't shoot. But listen, fair play to Newcastle. They've won the game. I'm not pissed off about losing the game. I'm a bit pissed off on how we lost the game.
Yeah.
And to me, it wasn't offside. I didn't really think it was a foul, but with me is that ball going past the line. That's the only thing that's done it for me, and that's my opinion. Other people's got their own different views on things as well. AFC always says Arteta is just trying to use VAR as a way of diverting the attention away from his criminal tactics and style of football. Most probably is. I'm not Arteta fan. I'm not. If he don't deliver anything for Arsenal this season, he should be gone. In my opinion, I keep saying it, and I will keep saying it as long as he's in a job. If he does win something, and listen, even if we finish in the Champions League top 4 and he wins a trophy, I'll hold my hands up and say, look, you've got us to a Champions League again and a Champions, and you've won us a trophy. But if you are here next season, choose your players wisely. Who you're going to bring in. That's all I'm going to say. Football United TV. Well, I see that, but that's Matt. He goes 10 votes so far. Was VAR correct in the in the Newcastle versus Arsenal game? 40% is saying yes, and 60% is saying no. So 40% said yes, 60% said no. So VAR was not correct.
Mm.
So yes,
It's how people interpret it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are they wrong for the fouls, or are they correct for the goal? Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one.
Yeah. So I voted in the poll, and I was in with the news. Billy, I don't know if you put your vote in, but if you want to put it in, your vote gets calculated in. Are you going to go for a yes or no?
I'm going for a yes, and I'm doing it right now.
You son of a bitch! Right. And then Matt goes on and says, "Thanks for tuning in. All smash the like, share, and please subscribe. And your support is much appreciated." Next up, the Theta Show. Yeah, copied. I can't ever bloody say that word. I destroy it. Final reaction. Libertadores. Yeah, okay, fine. That's right. I most probably would have said litter. Dior. That's what I would. That's what I was about to say. Honestly, I was about to say litter, but I do apologise. Sorry, Marley, because if you're still watching, and the reaction is live at 8 p.m. tonight. I believe obviously Marley's going to be on there. I'm not too sure. I think he's going to get some guests on there. If he doesn't, I think Matt will be on that show as well. So do you know what? Might be one for tuning in. If you ain't doing anything, that is. But that's it. And we've come to the end of the show. I just want to say thanks for everybody for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for voting in the poll. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Well, actually, it's bonfire night, isn't it? So if you're out there, enjoy your rest of your bonfire night. I know I am. I got somewhere to go. I'm going to pick up Kai Havertz and Arteta, and I'm just going to fucking throw them on the bonfire. And that's it. Bill, you got any plans for later on? Are you just going to stay in and chill?
Yeah, man. I'm staying in. I'm chilling out. I ain't doing nothing.
No. Oh, right. Okay. Before we leave, Bill, before we sign off, show everybody your football top you're wearing, mate. What is it we got? What is it you're wearing?
Chievo Verona this week. No, not Chievo Verona. Sorry. Yeah, Chievo Verona. That's the kit of choice this week.
The kit of choice this week. And he might be in a different kit next week. He's got a variations of football tops. We haven't got time to do it now because we're coming to the end of the show. But you never know. We might do a stream just on Bill and his collection of football kits. Well, football tops. Before the show started, he did actually have what was you wearing?
I was wearing a Watford shirt.
A Watford.
That is my championship team.
Is it?
That's a team that I follow most in the lower leagues, i.e. the championship. So yeah, it's a Watford shirt that I've got. And yeah, I've got ones from the Bundesliga. I've got ones from the Argentinian league. I've even got one from the Rwandan Premier League. So yeah, I've got quite a few from different places.
Yeah. Right. And Bill?
Yeah. But
this is the first time in a long time. Yeah, that's you. But I'm guessing that's you, but I didn't know your last name was Smith.
Yeah, it's the most common name ever.
Most common name ever. Yeah, definitely the most common name ever.
My middle name's Michael and all, just to make it even more common.
Michael, bloody hell. Billy Michael Smith. Anthony, quick question. Is Arsenal shit? No, they were shit against Newcastle, and they were shit. And I am going to say it as well. They were absolutely shit in midweek against West Ham in the Carabao Cup as well. So if you want to get that, we'll get that. We'll say it, and that's it. So yeah. So on that score, we're shit. Kai Havertz is shit as well, so you can have him back. Eddie Nketiah is shit. He's not in the standard of Arsenal. So, but yeah, okay. Well, we know Chelsea's a bit shit this season, so You know, it is what it is. And then Matt goes on to say Galasso kits, but he's done that. He's looked on there. He likes the kits. He's looked at the kits from the Brazilian league. He said Santos's kit is absolutely rubbish. Feminese was terrible. He won't wear that, but he does like the colours of the Bahia kit, in the jersey. So don't shoot the messenger. But thanks for that, Bill. Big up to you and yourselves. And I just want to say, everybody that's tuned in, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your bonfire night. We are out of here. See you later.
Take care.